I was privy to a conversation where someone felt like they had been done wrong by someone. And so because they felt like they had been wronged by someone, in their mind, they were planning their comeback so that the next time that that person, they saw them, that they would be doing their big one, right? They would be the best person that they can be. Because in their mind, they were going to go and, get this, this, I'm gonna show you that you made a mistake. You slept on me, or, what you did to me, you should have done and I didn't understand it. I didn't understand it. Nope, I didn't understand it. I didn't understand why that person felt that having a comeback would be the resolution. This is what I know. When it comes to morals and values and things like that, it depends on who you are talking to and what situation that a person is in where they decide to enforce a value or a moral. That's how it is. And so when it comes to values and morals, they are individualized life plans. When I served in the military, we had 7 Army core values. They spelled the acronym leadership, and it stood for loyalty, duty, respect, selfless service, honor, integrity, and personal courage. What I know about those values is even if we didn't agree with them as service members, when we were in the military, regardless if we were in uniform or not, because remember, we were soldiers 24/7, no matter how we felt about any of those values, we had to abide by them at all times. We had to upkeep to them, and we had to make sure that that was our standard. That way we were all on one even level when it comes to values and morals. People value things differently depending on where you come from. But the military is the only organization that I know that sets a standard in terms of what you will value. Civilian life ain't like that. The civilian life is not like that. And so when people come to the realization that morals and values are individualized life plans, people will be so much better off. Let me tell y'all something. There have been times where I feel like people have done me wrong, even in the military. Why? Because sometimes what you see is right may not be what that person sees right. They feel like they're doing the right thing, and you feel like, hey, that's not the right thing because it affects me in this way, being negative. But I can recall times in the military where people have done things where I felt like I wasn't done right. Now, at the time that I want to bust their head to the white meat, of course I did. Of course I wanted to bust their head to the white meat. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm from Detroit. I joined the military to get rid of some of my aggression, okay? However, I look up and sure enough, what they did to me, I'm glad they did it. Like, because you realize then that, oh, so I was being set up for this. I was being set up for this. Even you can take this particular concept in terms of relationships, because see, I know for a fact that when it comes to relationships, a lot of us feel that we've been done wrong by somebody. And so we're like, okay, I'm gonna show them, I'm gonna show them, I'm gonna show them. Let me tell you something. When somebody do something to me and it gives me permission to go ahead on about my business, I look at them, I be like, you know what? I sure am glad you did what you did. Because had you not did what you did, I probably would not have had the nerve to go on about my business. I probably would not have the guts to go on about my business. So I'm glad you went ahead and pushed the envelope, honey, and relieved me of this pressure in life or making the decisions and thinking that I might make the wrong decision. So again, when it comes to morals and values, it is an individualized life plan. And so when you understand that and you let go of what you think people should be doing and things like that, then you'll realize that you need to live your life every day where you have something to prove, not to them, but to yourself. Because I'm gonna tell you something, I know at this age, if I went about my life trying to prove something to the people who have done something wrong to me, I would be living my life every day trying to prove something. The question to you is this: when that motivation is gone, then what drives you? When nobody is doing you wrong, then what drives you? Because after a while, you ain't on nobody's radar no more, especially when you become older and everything and all. So you ain't on nobody's radar. So when the motivation is gone and nobody's doing anything wrong, life is perfect, then what happens? Then what drives you to get to that next level? You can't wait on nobody to do you wrong, okay? You can't go in life and say, well, I'm going to prove them, I'm going to prove to them. No, you got to always be at your best. You got to always be at your best. And when it comes to your morals and your values, you have to start there. Because those are your standards of life, right? Those are your standards of life. I call them rules of engagement in life. Because if you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. That's how you end up always trying to prove to people that you're worthy of this and you're worthy for that, because you don't know who you are. Okay? So listen, I don't know who this is for, but I know this is for somebody. Because they told me to tell y'all. So I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.